Citizens, how's your spirit? Me, I am peace. Listen, the sun is coming in early, but I wanted to get this done real quick, and I know you can hear this. Listen for a second. It's one of my favorite artists at the moment. Let's just get through the beginning real quick, right? And then I'm gonna tell you the story, and then we'll get to the thing. The drama never end between the households. Misery, love, company, something that you and I know. Martin, Gina, goofy shit, August, Jada, entanglement. I will let this Smith and Wesson blow. Don't tempt me, I'm a bad boy with a good girl that got an evil soul. A unique smile, know how to make that tootsie roll. Chocolate factory between your legs. Okay. The artist's name is Bub Knight. The song is Toxic. So, this chick told me once that I was toxic. And I was like, bitch, I am. I'm toxic because you don't know anything about love. You don't know anything about love, self-love, unconditional love, platonic love, flirtatious love. Y'all don't know love. So I'm toxic. My light irritates your demons. My ability to love beyond the ish is toxic to you. It's poison to the demon, is what I'll say. Okay? So I'm sitting here and I am working on some things, and it just dawned on me. I'm at peace. Like, the reason why I'm putting things out in the way that it's happening is because I'm allowing the Most High God to take the lead in my life. I used to fight. I remember asking the Most High all the time, Lord, can't you get me a different caliber of friend, so to speak? And there was sometimes in jest, but you're right, or we're right when we say there's a little bit of truth in every joke. Then I started getting some people who understood me. I had this homegirl in Durham. Her name was Amber. Cool as shit. We started smoking weed together. I don't think I'm talking out of turn here. It'll be fine even if I am. I'm about to be the president. You dig? Anyway, you guys forgive me for a second. My lighter is right here. That's there. Okay. So, that's one of those things, right? Where I had a lesson to learn. And I was watching another young lady. I can't remember her name. She was discussing her channel name, but she was discussing Mercury retrograde. For those of you who aren't into spirituality, just think deja vu for a significant number of days. Okay, you're just gonna have repeated moments of, dang, I went through this before. Dang, I hadn't seen this before. Dang, this happened, but it was different. When you have those moments, do your best to allow the movie to play for as long as it can in your brain. Don't interrupt. Don't think. Don't try to interact. If you can do that, then you just might have the possibility of being able to see the thing that went wrong in the past or the future. Okay? Think the movie Deja Vu too. It'll help, right? That's why the references to movies. All my life, there have been these little things along the way that I have learned, right? Good morning. How are you this morning? I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Oh, careful, please. Oh, my gosh. Oh, hey. Oh, yeah. Are you okay? Yes. There you go. Okay. Woo, child. Yeah, and try to get some of that out of your shoe too, because you'll still slide. Lord have mercy. If I had a camera on the other side of this thing, I would show you. There's a lot of mud right here behind the thing. And I slid too. I pretty much have to watch off my shoes here in a little bit, but I've been just sliding my foot along trying to deal with the consequences. Anyway, so when it comes to how I managed to get through, that's it. And I'm gonna reference this. There's a piece that I'm writing that's on the other side of this. And basically, that's the Bible, right? Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Okay, so I died. The night of February 1st, going into February 2nd, 2022. The very first thing that came to me was John 2:22 and Revelations 19:1. From a like, I'm not someone who got biblical references before, right? One, I grew up Muslim the majority of my life. My parents were non-denominational when we were overseas, but pretty much had more to do with where we were and what was going on than anything else, I believe. And that's just from what I remember sort of witnessing. My mother wasn't really devout anything, and my stepfather just kind of went with the flow, although, he kept some black nationalist soul, so did my biological father. But anyway, the point being that even that upbringing taught me to focus on the words, the understanding, the meaning, determining what the true value was in each statement. And you can call that verbal mathematics or universal math, right? The understanding that. And so when I got back, so to speak, and just before I left, if you look at the first channel, JP the Aspiring Matriarch, you'll see that it started out as each one teach one. If that growth stays on if that path stays on the description of your channel as you grow throughout the years, if that's allowed to stay there rather than being updated each time that you change it, right? Then you'll be able to see that I went from like each one teach one to each one teach 1,000. Do you know whom else did that? YouTube. And Black YouTube. That's how we created the algorithm that will begin to push forth more positive content over time. We had to have these discussions. We had to sit down and communicate with one another, whether we wanted to or not. And so while we're all offended by COVID and the developments afterwards and how it's about to affect us going into this next fiscal year, so on and so forth, it's something to keep in mind. Some of us are just kind of ahead of the power curve on taking the time to heal our minds. That's it. As a dependent of the United States military and having worked for the United States government as a civilian and then as a volunteer in the civil service, because I worked at the commissary, and that is a civilian job. It's a GS position, is it? I believe. And I worked in a couple of other positions on base or whatever that were GS positions. Okay, so don't think that I never worked. That isn't it. I did it in such a way that I was able to be there for my children each day, and my husband when he was home. The point being that I recognized the little nuances in the journey. That's where when you get stuck and God comes through, and you're like, well, hey, God came through. It's because you waited on God. That's what patience is. Having the ability to wait on God and not interrupt. Don't go through nobody else. Don't do nothing off the shelf. Don't be regular. Especially if you don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Normal's normal, I suppose, although do we have a definitive normal even? You see what I mean? I think we're at the point in history where we have allowed there to be no absolutes for so long that we have created absolutes by way of the known things that you want to make obsolete, so to speak. It's Samuel L. Jackson's character, the Boondocks. There are known unknowns, there are unknown unknowns, there are, that part. We're at the point in history where we're about to know many an unknown. And then we'll start over again. We have to take all this new information and go back to the drawing board in some way. In others, maybe not so much. Perhaps not in education. It's evident that the educational programs that came before were somehow good, bad, or indifferent. It's up to us to take the kernels, the nuggets of information, basic instructions before leaving Earth, and put them into an understanding, a way of communicating amongst one another, citizens, whether that be town, city, state, country, globally, right? We're talking about preparing for the aftermath, not just of old DT there, yet let's just say the aftermath of man rolling the dice one too many times. You've got organizations like CERN and DARPA, and you got folks working on a second sun and rockets, and well, not anymore. Honestly, that's interesting too. There was a period, I'd say from like last summer to probably February of this year or so, where Elon was just shooting that shit off left, right, and sideways. Now all of a sudden, things have shut down a bit. I really think Musk is about to have to tap out. I think in the space race of the next generation, Musk isn't going to make it. And if I'm being honest, I don't remember him. You know, if I tell you what I saw, it was the dude from Virgin Mobile. What is his name? Man, I apologize. Steve Wynn, right? Hotels Net. Okay. Him. Bezos. And I want to say Zuckerberg. and don't take this the wrong way. Like, these are the faces that are on what I'm going to call space more. Right? If we're saying that we're envisioning, or some of us can see by way of visions, the future, dreams, whatever analysis, or just being visionaries, the ability to see who's going to make it, right? That's foreshadowing, right? The books that I read in my life were foreshadowing. The Bible, if you listen or pay attention, is foreshadowing with an guidance on how to survive this thing. You get it? I do hope that makes sense. I know it seems like I went off, on a tangent a bit. It's just, all of it's relevant. And that's it. If we can recognize that it's all relevant and then bring it all into an alignment that we can understand, a single thread, a collective consciousness, singularity. The government anticipated singularity in 2030. Here it is, 2025. Some recognize the signs. Others pretend not to. They can see it too. It's just, different. Not how anyone imagined it to be. Really, not even me. It's just, I can accomplish all things through God who strengthens me. God loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. One of the things that's been missing in Black history, possibly in Indigenous history, has come to light in recent years, is that Africans, the slaves, were given a shortened Bible. Their Bible was so let's do it this way. I'm not going to go through all that. What we're going to say is, if there was a Council of Nicaea that took out the book of Enoch, there was a council of slavery that made sure that people were afraid of God, loved the Lord, because the Lord in the beginning was the Caucasian and or European man. Okay? I hope everyone is with me. I hope you stayed this long. Not, you'll find out soon enough. So anyway, that's the point of this thing. If you look at the book, right, you've got God, Jesus, the Lord. There's reason for it. The Lord was the overseer of the land, right? He also oversaw the people for his regent, Jesus. For so-and-so, the king. You understand? The king was said to have a direct connection to whom? The Most High God. By what? Birthright. See why Donald Trump would like to get rid of it? Because he is no king. He's also no leader. He's afraid of a leader. Someone who can stand up, step forward, and get into any political arena and have the conversation. It's not a game of win, lose, or draw. It's what you can take away from the debate that day. Can you get an understanding of my understanding and make it understood from the Galactic Convention to a Tucson neighborhood? And see, that's the difference between myself and others out there. I am indeed going to learn y'all up today. This is why we pray. I see the difference is many of you are still getting down on your knees and prostrating before deities. Not I. I walk and talk with God all the time. In the spirit. In wherever. Outside. I will stop in the middle of what I'm doing and be like, you know what, God, I really don't get why. You understand? And you notice how I pretty much always look up and to the left, even when I am simply referencing a previous conversation. Because that's between God and I. You did. I've invited you in. My business. I invited you into my business, not my personal life. You chose to overstep boundaries. Because I tell you a story doesn't mean that you need to go and get any more background information. Kind of like the Bible, which you should be reading, or at least getting the nuggets out of it when given the opportunity to. If you were to delve deep into the Bible, you would then recognize, maybe not all of it. You see? Different stories for different times in history. Same story repeatedly throughout history until we choose to abolish slavery. To kick off the things that have bound us to the idea that we're free. When someone can control where you eat, where you sleep, your source of income, how are you free? Yeah. I'm offering a pilot program and an opportunity to become a leader and to own your own thing. Thing is, are you mentally prepared for it? Can you make the quantum leap to entrepreneurial leadership? Because that comes with something different. Sometimes you can't be worried about whether or not you gonna eat. You have to feed the people. If you don't feed the people, they'll devour you. That's not what I want to see, not what we came to do. It's not why I've been focusing on the American economy. It's not that I wanted to use or would have ever used it as a bully pulpit in that regard. It's the fact that we've known since I was a teenager that Black Americans hold the power of the purse. All they ever had to do was stop putting money into a system that no longer loves them or never loved them. Forgive me. Stop putting money into not loving themselves and pour out a little liquor as well. That's it. Black America will get through it. Coming together, not to commiserate, not even to congregate, but to facilitate the conversation. We're doing that now more than ever. just like the height of COVID. It's not by coincidence. Ah, they believe they know us better than we know ourselves. Why do you think so many people got caught up in the PPP loan situation? They knew they'd be able to claw that money back, so they didn't mind doing that dance. And in respect, they're going to get it back with interest. Pardon me. You understand what I'm saying? And that's probably when they'll like start to bring down the interest rates. Once they start to get some of that money in from the PPP scamming situation, and or the Bitcoin crypto stuff, because they're on the hunt for it. They gonna find it. They're not. They will leave no stone unturned. You know about government money, honey. I don't know. Was it the Reagan era where they would? How many government pens do you have in your house? Dog, man. Because here's the thing. Like, as a chef by trade, I spent many a time, I oftentimes would find a Sharpie that wasn't mine in the sleeve of my in a pocket on my sleeve, right? Or sometimes in my pants pocket, depending on if I was wearing executive pants or not. But anyway, and so, and then at that point, I'm on my way back to the crib. I'm not going to turn around and take back no doggone Sharpie. I just throw that bad boy in the doggone middle console of the car. And then one day I looked in the car and I was like, girl, you got like 6 Sharpies. Oops. But then I also would turn around and give my employees at the independent place a baggie with everything, a gift bag with everything that they needed at the holidays before they got their bonus from her. And I'm sure that really pissed my boss off, but ask me if I gave 2 shits. I was thankful for them. So I gave them little goodie bags that had a thermometer, a Sharpie, what else? A notebook. Those are three very important things, okay? Sharpie, a thermometer, preferably an analog one, not digital. However, digital will do. And not a meat thermometer. You want the anyway, and a notebook. Those 3 things will help you to become a more efficient chef and or human being. If I'm being honest, make use of them. I would say today, be sure to give hand sanitizer also. It's just really when you work in the kitchen, hand sanitizer is not enough. It's a backup. It's a backup to the backup, if we're being real honest. Because first you want to go with the things that you can just, like your detergents or whatever, because they're made to cleanse in a specific way to eat away bacteria and things like that. And then you can go with at least the hot water and like bleach method of getting things cleaned and sanitized. And then you can do like hand sanitizer in the event of. I'm talking about, like dishes or cleaning surfaces or things along that line. The number one thing is wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. And a shout out to everybody who understands water. Water. We are made up of 3/4 water. The earth is made up of 3/4 water. That's also part of the reason why we'll be able to make the educational leap just a little bit easier than some of the others. If the current educational system would listen to those who have been teaching the universal mathematics and science and so on and so forth, there can be a meeting of the minds much quicker, and we can begin to create a new version of our educational system that works for most people. It's going to have to involve us using all 8 forms of learning. and possibly at the same time. It's one of those things about my streams. I try to engage and or interact with an audience that didn't really exist. Yes, there could be people on the other side typing away at me, and eventually, you get people showing up on camera with me. At the same time, though, you never know where those people came from. How they find me. YouTube let me off the leash, so to speak. Right? Every now and then I bust through the algorithm, and like that, it trips them out. And my battery's gonna die soon, and I'm gonna have to get out of here anyway. But like when I post certain things, they don't anticipate it riling up the community. They have, okay, it's the known unknown, and I'm the known unknown in the algorithm. And what I know is unknown to YouTube. So whatever formula that is, if one of y'all want to put that out there after I post this, or whatever you want to do with it, right? I call it. So I put up one that was like divorcee math using the slope formula. But anyway, so yeah, that's the math, right? I know something you don't know. I know something YouTube doesn't know. YouTube thinks they know something that I don't know. I know everything. I've been there since the beginning. I was very happy minding my business, listening to YouTube as background music, so to speak. Then things changed. I could hear it first. The agenda, the lies, the things that was being put out there. That was before it got to lying about me, spinning tales on what I was saying to fit the demographic of each character involved in it. And now they're in Trump's cabinet. You don't think that they've gone through my entire life? Dan Bongino has access to FBI files that date back to when I was a child. And if you, people, see my life as the Truman Show, then well, you know how deep the rabbit hole goes. I was born in 1975. That means, at a minimum, as early as 1974, there's some type of documentation referencing my coming, so to speak. Don't let that get past you. Got to. We'll take it as slow as the Most High God would like to. Or as quickly. As you can see, the sun is shining brightly. And yet, I'm chilling like a villain in a breeze. So, you do as you please. I'm going to continue to move forward in my journey. Somebody ought to pray for me. Because I've been praying for a lot of other people for a real long time. Not that I'm try it sometime. I never saw myself as the type of woman who would be walking down the street singing gospel music. I didn't. I'm also the type of woman who will walk down the street and sing Nasty Girl. So, do not mistake me, baby. You understand what I'm saying? I told an associate, now I tell a lot of people, here's some things you should know about me. On topic, off topic, just real quick before we dip, because I'm going to go and get ready to charge my things and this is going to die on me. In the tablet. Anyway, number one, I'm the type of chick who would wear a t-shirt that says ambassador for Make Love Not Porn, because that's what I wanted to be. Shout out to them. That's their thing. I think it's amazing. On the back, I want a t-shirt that says not people friendly, I bite. Okay, that's number two. And then give me a beat. I just want to be me. I am happiest being me. I'm at peace with everything that's happening. Because life's gonna life. Whether it's wrong or right. I can't control anybody. I can't, except self, right? And I've mastered myself. So I put all this out there hoping that it would help others to do the same thing. Now, here's the third thing. I call myself the compassion assassin. So I'm fictitiously, so to speak, training to be an assassin. That's why the change in my physical. I decided at some point that I wanted to be able to do a handstand by the time I turn 50, which is next month. And I'm pretty close. I pretty much lift my body weight, I believe. I have been able to push myself up like that, right? And so I'm working on it. I like to imagine myself jumping out at my person with a Nerf gun and running off somewhere, or a water gun. That's who I am as a human being. I used to tell the green and grass, I am control chaos. I'm in control of me and the chaos. Just let me be. Enjoy it for the moment, because that was all we had, right? That's why it was the green and grass. I was like, bro, by the time that, consistency, right? Consistently being the two people who meet up frequently enough. Green and grass. Every damn day together, though, who knows? Working together, living together. And that's the thing, there's so much. Both of us had to be in a situation to get away from situations. And I was the only one who ever expressed leaving. You see? Either the lifestyle or the relationship. And I accepted it. The reason why I accepted on face value what was said to me was because I was going through a very similar thing. My person and I had agreed to the swinging. My ex-husband and I had agreed to the swinging and this, that, and the third, right? So I just took it from that angle and understood it. when that person wasn't saying, because that person had people who were younger than my people and some other things. Anyway, that's the point. I mean, of that thing. And otherwise, though, look at life. Look at yours. Don't compare it to just Jesus in the Bible. Compare it to a story that fits in the Bible, or the Quran, or the whatever book you reference. That's pretty much the ticket to human existence and getting off this planet. Keep spirit up. I'll see you in the streams.